Honorable Prime Minister, Attorney General Dale Marshall, Minister of Sports, Youth and Community Empowerment, Minister Charles Griffith, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Ian Branch, Permanent Secretaries Joy Adamson and Alice Jordan, Director of the National Sports Council Neil Murrell, officers of the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Community Empowerment, representatives from the NCF, the National Transformation Initiative, the National Sports Council, the Barbados Football Association, the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc., fellow key stakeholders, community leaders, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Please be seated. My name is Tahir Bubulia, and I am your host for this morning's important launch of the Prime Minister's Cup for 2025. Before I go into my official opening, I would like to commend the committee of 2024, and I would like for you all to give them a massive round of applause. And also I would like to commend the winners of the first Prime Minister's Cup, UWI Blackbirds. So you can also give them a round of applause. I'm going to ask the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, Permanent Secretary Joy Adamson, to lead us in the opening invocation.
Please stand. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the opportunity to gather here for the launch of this football tournament. We ask for your presence among us as we begin this journey of sportsmanship, unity, and healthy competition. We ask that you come into our presence this morning at this ceremony. Bless all the organizers of this tournament, the teams, the supporters, and officials who will take part. Grant each player strength, discipline, and safety on and off the field. And may this Prime Minister's tournament bring joy, camaraderie among our Barbadian communities, foster friendship, and promote respect among all of us. Dear Father, we ask these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, Permanent Secretary Joy Adamson, for leading us in that invocation. So ladies and gentlemen, how are you feeling ahead of Prime Minister's Cup 2025? Are you excited? I know 2024 was a big year, lots of excitement. Many said that was the biggest crowd they have seen at Kensington Oval ever. So we really must thank all the organizers, all the patrons, all the supporters of last year's final and the entire competition. But more importantly, this is a part of government's mandate of building out sports in the country. Sports is an important pillar for development, and as we know from examples from all over the world, it's an economic grower, and it's an opportunity to provide a wholesome set of activities and employment for young people and older people as well. But it is critical that we continue to provide opportunities for persons to participate in wholesome, good, upright activities. Because as we see what is going on in Barbados, a lot of challenges are being faced within the society. And it is ironic that this morning there's a signing about decent work in partnership with the Barbados Ministry of Labor and the ILO this morning about decent work. And sports provides decent work for many people. So it's ironic that this signing is taking place this morning when the launch of the Prime Minister's Cup is happening, which is going to provide decent work and growth for many people in the coming months. I'm going to ask to give the official welcome and greetings, Mr. Fabian Wharton, the acting president of the BFA, to come forward and give the opening remarks. Okay, sorry, I did not get the update, but Ms. Christine Rock will give, Assistant General Secretary, will give the official welcome and greetings. Please welcome her to the podium.
Good morning, Honorable Prime Minister, Minister of Government, BFA Executive Council, distinguished guests, members of the sporting fraternity, players, coaches, officials, supporters, and friends of the game. It is my honor to bring you greetings on behalf of the Barbados Football Association. While our president, Randolph Harris, is unfortunately unable to be present this morning due to his prior commitments, I am pleased to represent the association and extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each of you to the BFA Technical Center, to the official launch of the Prime Minister's Cup 2025. We express sincere gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister for her continued support and vision in promoting football as a tool for national development, youth empowerment, and leadership. And your leadership continues to inspire the growth of the game at every level. The Prime Minister's Cup has grown into a cornerstone of our local football calendar. It provides an invaluable platform for the talent development and a space where communities come together in the spirit of healthy competition, pride, and sportsmanship. The Barbados Football Association is especially proud of its continued partnership with the Office of the Prime Minister. This collaboration is more than logistical. It is built on a shared vision that football can be a powerful tool for social development, personal growth, community transformation. As our vision here at the Barbados Football Association, better football for a better life. Together, we are investing in our youth, creating meaningful pathways for an aspiring players, and reinforcing the value of teamwork, discipline, and determination that the sport teaches so well. As we launch the 2025 edition of the Prime Minister's Cup, we do so with great anticipation. We look forward to thrilling matches and the emergence of new talent and the strengthening of community bonds across the island. To all teams, coaches, and supporters, we wish you a safe and exciting, inspiring tournament. Let the games begin. And may football continue to unite and uplift us all. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Christine, and it will definitely be an inspiration for all. I know I'm going to ask Mr. Fabian Messiah, the head coach of the UE Blackbirds, who is the winning coach, to give some reflections on the 2024 competition. So please welcome Mr. Fabian Messiah.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, Madam Prime Minister, Head Table, Commissioner, PS, and guests. I don't have a speech, but I was asked to say a few words. 2024, December 1st, change most lives for UE. Blackbirds, the guys became celebrities. Walking through town, you would usually get, "You're the coach of the UE Blackbirds team," or the guys would say, "Coach." Everybody stopping me and congratulating us. The tournament really changed the lives of the guys. I want to thank the PM for sticking to her word and having one in 2025. I know it was a difficult decision. The tournament also helped some of our players. Right now, Jerron is in the US playing in a summer league. We know now Reese Evans, who just won Sports Personality of the Year. He is a professional playing at Tormenta FC, so that would have helped him as well. Going off in August will be Rivaldo Messiah, a young emerging talent. He will be studying at Lincoln Memorial University. So the tournament did provide a platform for the players to be seen. I want to congratulate the organizing committee for the streaming. Calls came from as far as England, congratulating the team on winning the tournament, asking questions about players, how old they are, what are their aspirations, and so on. So I want to thank you again for putting on another tournament. It is not only about football. I also like the initiatives that you had last year with the courses, and I hope that that does continue so that, you know, you can build an all-round person and not just through football. It teaches discipline, helping them to stay the course. You know, they had to attend the meetings. That in itself was a challenge, but, you know, we made our rules, and if they wanted to be a part of the entire program, they had to commit to the whole guidelines of the tournament. So I want to thank you all for that part of the organizing as well. We are optimistic that we will be again at Kensington come November 30th, and hopefully we'll be lifting that trophy for a second year. So I want to thank you guys for inviting me to say a couple of words, and I wish all the other teams best of luck. And I pray for an event, safe and uneventful, eventless, sorry, tournament.
Thank you, Fabian. And from what I've heard from the committee is that, yes, the workshops will be continuing this year and they will be growing. So it's important that we have that as part of the competition, because obviously we want to build young people in a holistic way. So I'm going to ask now the project manager for the Prime Minister's Cup Committee, Mr. Shane Archer, to provide some highlights of 2024 and some plans for 2025.
Hey, Prime Minister, Minister of Sport, senior government officials, specially invited guests, good morning. It's truly an honor to reflect on what has been an exceptional year for the Prime Minister's Cup football tournament, a tournament that continues to grow, evolve, and deliver real results for Barbados. The 2024 edition of the tournament firmly reinforced our three founding pillars: community empowerment, player development, and economic enfranchisement. In terms of community empowerment, across the island, we witnessed communities come alive as residents rallied behind their teams. This wasn't just about football. It was about pride, unity, and shared purpose. Crucially, a number of facilities saw targeted upgrades, ensuring that even beyond this tournament, communities are left with improved spaces for recreation and development. And where player development is concerned, we had over 500 players take part in this tournament, all required to participate in structured training sessions before stepping onto the field. This approach not only enhanced player fitness and skill, but also instilled a sense of professionalism with weekly stipends linked to performance and discipline. The results speak for themselves. 3 of our players have secured professional contracts overseas, further proving that Barbados is producing talent that is ready for the global stage. And then we go into economic enfranchisement. The tournament is not just about what happens on the pitch. It's a significant economic driver. Hundreds of vending spaces were allocated throughout the tournament, and more than 70 registered vendors directly benefit from food and beverages, and sales to other services. Tradesmen, physical therapists, suppliers, the ripple effect reached well beyond the field. Corporate Barbados also played its part, contributing over $150,000 in sponsorship, a clear signal of growing private sector support and confidence in this initiative. And the atmosphere throughout the tournament was remarkable, not only for the quality of football, but for the peace and safety that prevailed. Thanks to the strong partnership with the Barbados Police Service, we experienced 0 incidents of crime or violence at the tournament. The turnout was phenomenal. Over 90,000 people attending matches across the island, demonstrated how deeply the tournament resonates with Barbadians. And as I close, the 2024 Prime Minister's Cup was more than a sporting event. It was a catalyst for our community pride, youth development, and economic opportunity. We have laid the foundation for even greater things to come in 2025 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Shane. And I'm going to ask the Minister of Sports, Youth and Community Empowerment, Minister Charles Griffith, to give his remarks.
Good morning, Prime Minister, Permanent Secretary, other invited guests. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be intimately involved in the Prime Minister's Cup. Now, let me start by saying I have coached basketball at the highest level for 15 years, and it's the first time that I heard a championship coach wishing the best for his others, for the others. Brave man. But we are doing what is necessary in the ministry to ensure that the sporting project on the island is what it's supposed to be. And when you look at football, one of the first community coaches programs that we put in place would have been the football program. Because we believe that if we can expand the football product on the island, then we get more people at the base coming to the fore. And in recent times, we have identified some football fields, and I know that we heard some negative in the media about we're spending money to develop football fields. But the reality is, what is happening at Lumber Company? It is already a football field. What is happening at Blenheim is already a football field. What is happening at the grounds at the YMCA, already a football field. All we're doing is to ensure that we have a wide range of football fields that are dedicated, because you know how cricketers behave. They make noise about the spikes being on the field, and then it is a problem for them when they play cricket. So we have identified some dedicated football fields that will be pressed into use. Some will come in this competition. For instance, I can look at the one in St. Lucie. What's the one at the top of the hill? Checker Hall. That is already fit for purpose. Lights are in place. Nothing is happening in terms of cricket, so we can use that. One of the things we're hoping for is that give back. So our sporting program, the community coaches program, will allow, and we started the training here with 20 individuals that will go back to communities, form groups, form clubs, and empower our young people to be involved in the process. Because we believe that if we have an active sports program on the island, that we would see some of the crime drop because youngsters will be involved in the process. So we continue to do what is necessary as a government. I continue to do what is necessary as Minister of Sports to ensure that the sporting project, and in particular football, is alive and well on the island. I thank you.
Thank you, Minister Griffith. I'm now going to ask Mr. Omari Eastman, the chairman of the Prime Minister's Cup Committee, to give the strategic vision for 2025. Please welcome him.
Good morning, everyone. Protocol having been established, it is truly a pleasure to see all of our partners, sponsors, and our friends in attendance this morning. As we launch year 2 of the Prime Minister's Cup, an idea that was born from yet a simple and powerful belief where the community could be further engaged to help enhance our social construct of our country. As Mr. Marcel would have rightly pointed out, the impact it would have had with some of our young footballers. He would have mentioned Niall, he would have mentioned Duran, mentioned Rivaldo going off in August. However, there's also Nadre Butcher. He would have secured a professional contract in Portugal. There's also Omani Leacock, who's playing professionally now in Jamaica. And it's good that these guys could actually have a living from playing football, their passion and what they love. And as we always say that once you find what you're doing and you love it, it's not become a job anymore. It's a passion, so you enjoy doing it. As Shane rightfully highlighted regarding the amount of spectators and the crowds that we had, over 90,000, it just goes to show that the ability to unite us as a country through sport. And it was very encouraging. And teams and the supporters followed football wherever it went. So as the minister would have said, with a new field coming in Checker Hall, you have fans coming from Christchurch, as you know, that's the other side of the island, all down to Checker Hall to support their team. And I think that was amazing, and it just goes to show the dedication that persons are willing to give and the encouragement to the young fellows participating in this competition. What I want to highlight that is major, as we would have mentioned, having well-rounded individuals, as Mr. Massar rightfully mentioned. We had one person that reached out last year during the tournament. They were actually doing their master's in sports science, and they asked for permission to conduct their thesis in the impact of the Prime Minister's Cup in sport in Barbados. And I'm happy to report that they would have graduated with a merit in their total master's degree and a big part of the thesis. So it just goes to show football is not only highlight, but how you can merge and marry the two together. And I think that was a wonderful initiative and a win for the Prime Minister's Cup. We continue to intend to build our strategic vision for year 2, and we continue to use this game as a tool to unite all of us, continue to instill discipline, and let it be a reflection of our national pride as a country. This vision is anchored in community partnerships and a renewed commitment to excellence at all levels. So, what we're trying to do for year two, we're going to try to identify emerging talent, ensure that football is accessible to each and every community with the new grounds coming on board, partner again, here with the NTI, to engage further development to foster well-rounded individuals. This year, we're going to encourage some fan engagement through media, digital platforms, and community outreach. We're beginning to strengthen a well-organized and competitive tournament and try to make even more commercially viable for the players that participated. And lastly, I would have reached out to some partners overseas, and I'm happy to share that I've given the permission, the project manager, that we have at the university coming from England to conduct a study on injury prevention in the tournament. Ethics has already gone into the university here. Of all of us know, anytime you're conducting research, you must get ethical permission from the university on land to conduct that research. So once that approval comes, then we collect that data and try to publish it to be accepted at an academic level. I just want to say and to reiterate, all of this would not be possible without the support of our Prime Minister. And I will hope now here is where we could put our hands together and could see the positives and the wins that will happen and just show our level of appreciation for it. We as the organizing committee, we intend to continue to scale this initiative and continue innovating. And as we are all here, I want to invite you to continue to support the Prime Minister's Cup and together make this initiative more impactful this year. And let's remember our slogan, empowering communities, one goal at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Eastman. I didn't realize you were so tall. Thank you so very much. Now we're going to move to the featured address by the Honorable Prime Minister, Mia Moore-Motley. So please welcome her to the podium.
Thank you very much, Tahir. Distinguished guests all, my job really has been made very easy this morning because everyone has told you what you need to know about the tournament. And I am so happy that we can now move into the second year because one-off tournaments are just that, a flash in the pan. And what we're trying to do is to build an institution, and an institution that will inspire youngsters to want to say that they want to grow up and play in that tournament, that will inspire parents to recognize that if I can keep my child focused and they can display their talent anchored by their discipline, greatness can happen for them, as we have seen from Niall right back to all of the others who have been identified for higher duty elsewhere. Inspiration for those who read the paper tomorrow or listen to the news today and say, I could go and sell some stuff to make sure I could make back to school this year, or I could put my family in a good position because I'm going to have the opportunity to know that week after week after week after week, I can get sales because whether you like it or not, and I say this without fear of contradiction, the 89 games played last year in the Prime Minister's Cup gathered some of the largest crowds that this country has seen attend community-based activities in years. And then, of course, happy for me because I can say to you, thank you for keeping the deal last year and asking you again to keep the deal this year. And what is the deal? a number of things. One, that while we expose our youngsters to the opportunity to display their skills and to be the best that they can be on the field, that we equally try to prepare them for the things off the field in their lives through the provision of training in life skills and entrepreneurial activity. And there were some instances where we didn't have the 100% turnout from all teams, but the one team that gave us 100% turnout was who? The one that won the tournament. And there is a message in it for each of us. The old people have told us year after year as they've raised us in this country, you get out of something, what you do what? What you do? What you put in. And I want to repeat this because this is a message that we will never get tired of giving. You get out what you put in. And the more that you put in terms of discipline, the more that you put in terms of personal fitness, the more that you put in terms of training and doing the drills that you're supposed to do, the more that you put in terms of the mental preparation, the more you are going to get out. And last year we spoke about the importance of personal fitness and also insulating yourselves from the things that will retard your performance as a human being. If you smoke, and I can tell you, I used to smoke cigarettes, and trust me, it has had an impact on my capacity over the years with respect to my lungs. If you drink alcohol consistently while trying to be fit, you're not going to be at your optimum levels. So that if we really want to shift this and to move people to the best that they can be internationally and regionally, then it means that you have to be at your best individually. And to be at your best individually means paying attention to what you eat. You can't eat macaroni pie every day. You understand? At the end of the day, you might not like provisions, but they're good for you. You might not like vegetables, but they're good for you. So that there are some basic things, and the old people used to say, anything that bitter good for you. Once it's bitter, it's good. Once it's sweet, watch out. And it's true. So that these are the things that I need us to think about. You ask, well, what's they talking about all of this? Because we need to be reminded. And the process of discipline is a daily exercise. How do you make success a habit? Only by doing it each and every day, applying yourselves. There may be sometimes you might fall off. Don't kill yourself. Get up and get back on. In addition to that is the issue of camaraderie and the importance of finding a place for peaceful expression of all that we do. I am happy, and AC Branch, I'm glad to see you here, but I'm happy that last year we can report there were no incidents at all. I set a high bar because I do expect that it is possible for us to reach it. And that high bar is any guns, no football. And the rule remains the same for this year. The one sure thing that will stop football is not a hurricane, because when the hurricane gone and move on, we can clean the field and everybody can play. The one sure thing that will stop football is gunplay. So any gunplay, it's done. And those rules are clear. And anyone who is getting involved at any level must also know that all of us, therefore, have a vested interest in making this happen. We did it once before, we can do it twice again. So I look forward, once again, to this Prime Minister's Cup fueling and inspiring much activity between now and November 30th. There was a true sense of pride for us at Kensington Oval last year on the night of November 30th to see the thousands of persons turn out and the enthusiasm and the sense of pride that persons had back in whether it was Britain's Hill or whether it was UWI Blackbirds. And the bottom line is that I want that sense of pride to infuse our communities again. At some point, we will start to see what we can do with some invitationals with the other islands around coming out of this tournament, and that can perhaps be for some exhibition games after November 30th to make sure that whether it is St. Vincent or Trinidad or Guyana or Grenada or whoever, that we can have one or two exhibition games to be able to ensure that we even display more the majesty of the skills of those who will have won 2025. And I ask those of us who are responsible for the teams, we will meet you halfway this year, and the organizers have indicated to me that we are prepared to bring the trainers to the individual teams this year. But in so doing, we expect you to have high participation from among your players. It is not because we're looking for work to do. It is because we want to give the knowledge, the training, and the opportunities to individuals so that they can be their best, as I said, not only on their field, on the field of play, but off the field as well. And in so doing, we can give true meaning to our slogan, empowering each community one goal at a time. So my friends, thank you for being here. I wish I could say to you that all of the football fields will be ready for this tournament. The minister has advised that they will not, but we know that by next year, hopefully, we will have them fully. This year, you will see some of them come on one by one, but it is absolutely critical that they be finished, and I've advised them of that, and that we have taken too long to be able to get to that point, particularly given since we had given the commitment to the country on November 30th last year. So we are aware, we will do better there, and at the same time, I look forward to the other facilities that are being undertaken by the Ministry of Sports being completed. You can pass in Bush Hall and you see the netball stadium and the facility that will allow for netball, basketball, volleyball, with a sprung floor being built as we speak. And you can see behind here the athletics track that is going there. We have settled the location for the one in the south, and I'm hoping that before the end of the week, we will settle the location for the one in the north. I am aware that this weekend, we will also carry sports to Barbados, athletics to a different level as well, with the inauguration of the Barbados Grand Prix. Regrettably, I have the heads of government meeting where I'm handing over chairmanship to Prime Minister Holness, and therefore will not be at it in person, but I can assure you that I will be watching as much of it as possible, since I'm told that it will also be broadcast on Sports Max, and I'm sure social media will also be able to capture many of the events. I hope that this too can become a permanent feature on the athletics calendar, and I salute the private sector players who have invested their time and their funding and their organizational skills to make this happen. Little by little, it is our intention to ensure that there is a hive of activity across this country and across our communities. Last week, the minister, along with Courtney Brown, launched the Block T20 cricket tournament, and I look forward to being able to support other similar sporting tournaments at a local and community level as part and parcel of our attempt to be able to build out the social capital of this country to be able to create the opportunities for our young and older people to mix and to be able to ensure that opportunities, whether sporting opportunities, discipline opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities, can all flow from these events that we're having. And in the case of the Barbados Grand Prix and others that have a regional or international flair, tourism benefits as well. So let us continue to recognize that sports is the language, the love language of young people, just as culture and the arts are, and that we have a duty to be able to help uplift them and to allow them to be the best that they can be. Because never forget, as Niall and others have learned, that sportsmen and artists are global citizens. But we do the training to ensure that when they become global citizens, they do so with Bajan roots. Because if you don't know who you are, you cannot go forward with calm assurance and be the best that you can be. So I thank the organizers, I thank the Ministry of Sports and the Minister, I thank the Barbados Football Association for working with us, and this year for drafting the rules, and hopefully we will have an even deeper partnership with them as we go forward to make this a regular part of the sports calendar and the normal calendar of Barbadian communities. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Madam Prime Minister, for your featured address. Now we're going to go into the question and answer segment. So just raise your hand, say your name and which news house you're from, and who your question is directed from. If there's a microphone that can be used for the crowd. Okay. So any questions?
Paul Mears, Starcom Network. Can you give us some details with respect to what prize money and so on? Last year you had the incentives of teams being paid for training and so on. Tell us exactly what's happening in 2025.
The prize monies remain the same. The winner will take 100,000, and yes, players will be paid stipends per match. 125 initially, and it will grow through as you progress through the tournament. The same as last year. Nothing changes in that regard.
Let me say, Paul, that we understand the importance of being able to help people to ease the burdens a little bit. And that is why we call it a semi-professional tournament. Part of the difficulty has always been, and I speak now from my days of running it with Randy, that because Barbados's population is small, declining, you would think that it would be easy to hold a tournament with all these people coming out. But the truth is, it is not. And the break-even point in those days for us was actually 2,000 persons paying $10 a game. In this case, the government has decided to step in and carry the breadth of that so that you don't have to be able to have that level of expenditure, because the average person going into this would probably, without the support of the government or significant corporate sponsorship, would not be able to make this happen. There's a difference between financial return and economic benefits. The financial returns of the tournament would not be there because we simply don't have the numbers coming out. In other countries in the Caribbean, who have the numbers in Guyana and Trinidad, you can make it work with those numbers that they have. With us, it doesn't. Economic return, economic benefit, however, is not a financial return. The economic benefit is the wider thing. How many people are vending? How are the men going to spend their money and use it as a catalyst for other economic activity with a multiplier effect? All of the other things that come into it that spawn the economic activity, from the entrepreneurs to the artists to whoever, to the footballers themselves. So for government, there's a clear economic and social benefit. For those interested in a financial return, not them. So I hope I've been able to lay out the difference and why we've had to go this way to be able, as a government, to do that which the private sector would not normally be able to do because the numbers just are not there.
In terms of, I guess, to the organizers, in terms of the format, any changes to the format this year? And as a follow-up to the first one, 100,000 is the first prize and the payments to the clubs and so on. What's the overall cost to government for the tournament this year?
There's no significant changes to the format. We are still discussing some small details. What we would do, we would communicate to the clubs first. And once we have communicated to the clubs and have their understanding how we're going to proceed, then we will send a press briefing to you guys, a media briefing.
And Mark Goodrich Boyce, the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Last year, the video review system with the referee was very efficient. Is this something that's coming back for 2025?
Yes, we're going to use the video review system again, Trident Review, what we called it. We are still negotiating which part of the competition is going to be introduced from.
Trevor Thorne, commentator, Sports Incorporated. Could you give us the kickoff date of the tournament?
The kickoff date, as of now, will be September 1st, Monday, September 1st.
Those will ask why September 1st, because we have Carrie Festa August 22nd to August 31st. So we've had, normally we would like to start the last week of August, but this year it's not going to be possible because of Carrie Festa. So as soon as Carrie Festa finishes, boom, September 1st, we go right down the line.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for your questions. I'm now going to ask Ms. Danielle Bino to give the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Prime Minister Mia Moore-Motley, distinguished guests. Before I speak about season 2, let me begin where all great things in football and life should begin, with gratitude. It's been quite some time since we've had the privilege of bringing so many of our partners, sponsors, and stakeholders together in one space. And to those of you joining us via live stream, we thank you for your presence here with us as well. I just want to say thank you sincerely for the incredible successes of season 1. To the Honorable Prime Minister, thank you for the vision and leadership that remind us what's possible when we invest in our people, and for allowing this committee to build on the foundation that we would have laid last year. To the Honorable Minister Griffith and P.S. Adamson and the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Community Empowerment and dedicated government officials, thank you for your unwavering commitment to shaping a future where youth development, sport, and community upliftment go hand in hand. To our core partners, the Barbados Football Association, National Sports Council, the National Cultural Foundation, the Barbados Tourism Marketing, Inc., the Barbados Police Service, thank you for walking with us, not just for football, but for our communities, for our youth, and for our culture. To the media, your coverage didn't just report the scores, you brought the stories to life. You turned goals into headlines and moments into historic memories. To our sponsors, thank you for believing in this cup, and more importantly, the promise of our nation's youth and the impact it would have on communities. We look forward to deepening our partnership across corporate Barbados as we plan to elevate this initiative to even greater heights. To the clubs, players, coaches, Barbados Referee Association, thank you for your passion, your confidence, your grit. You are the soul of this tournament. And to the tens of thousands of fans and the community vendors from every parish, every neighborhood, every background, thank you for showing up and showing out. Thank you for representing Barbados loudly, proudly, and united. Thank you to everyone who made season 1 not just a success, but a statement that sport, when rooted in purpose, can uplift communities, inspire youth, and bring an entire nation to its feet. To Nayar Reed-Stephen, Nadra Butcher, and Omani Leacock, thank you for flying the Barbadian flag high with pride, regionally and internationally. As a committee member, I'm honored, deeply proud to help tell this story, because this isn't just football, it's proof that we can, we will, and we do deliver excellence right here on this 166 square mile rock. And season 2, it will be louder, prouder, more youth inspired, more communities ignited, more moments that make us say, this is us. So welcome back to the pitch, welcome back to the movement, welcome back to a Barbadian legacy that will continue to rise by empowering youth and inspiring communities, one goal at a time. Thank you. We will now have refreshments and mingling.
I just want to beg your indulgence. The caterers cannot come through because the elevator isn't working, so they're now going to come in and set up. So just give us a few moments. Thanks.